Hello everybody and welcome back to Murdered Soul Suspect. We are now in for the game's finale. This should be the last thing that we have to do before finishing this game up. We finished up the Judgment House in the last episode. We got all of the collectibles out of the way and we were able to figure out that Abigail is possibly the Bell Killer and that she has Joy. So we need to confront her about that and make sure that Joy is safe. Now you will also get a final warning when you go to enter the museum, and the game is basically telling you that this is the point of absolutely no return. If there's anything that you want to do, make sure that you do it now. If there's any ghosts that you didn't help, if there's any collectibles you didn't grab, then you need to do that now. Otherwise, in order to get any collectibles that you've missed up to this point, or if you missed something in the museum, you're going to have to start a new game and do it all over again. Those are the only choices that you have. But we have done everything, so let's finish the game up.
No one deserves to be murdered. And when the psycho trying to kill someone pretends there's some grand justice behind it, that just makes it all the more twisted.
Alright, so here we are in the museum. It looks a lot different from last time. There's no people, and you'll notice that there's a lot of demon pools here. So just slowly make your way around as you go into the exhibit hall.
Joy!
Ronan, help!
Not another step.
No, not you, Rex. This has nothing to do with her, Abigail.
Oh, but it does. For 300 years, we have executed the witches who corrupt our fair city.
Down there. Let's go.
Those who try to mask their demonic contract and leverage powers they should never possess.
Just like you have.
Don't you dare compare me to her!
Easy, easy. Put your hands up!
Help!
Don't do anything stupid.
Hands up! Stop what you're doing. Hands up! Do it now!
Abigail, stop! Rex, you piece of shit. What are you doing? Not now. This was you.
I want you getting closer to the truth.
Ronan, do something!
Hold tight, kid. I'm on my way.
So obviously Abigail is just completely nuts. Just head up to where Joy is and quickly possess her. You have about 20 seconds to do that, which is plenty of time. And the clue that we're looking for in order to stop Abigail is the powerful scream. We had first picked up this clue in the attic of the church, and Joy had screamed to get Ronan out of her body, which seems to work on ghosts. Good job, Joy.
It's over, Abigail.
So what you're going to want to do quickly is run over to Abigail and grab her arm.
The time is upon us, Abigail Williams.
No.
You scourge of Salem, it is time to pay for your sins!
This can't be happening. You want to use memories against me? Two can play at that game.
I know the truth about your death, but I still don't know the truth about mine.
So now we get to ask Abigail some all-important questions to kind of wrap up the rest of any remaining questions that we have.
Did you use Rex to kill me?
Rex was my most influential. The most respected, the most feared official in town. Of course I did.
That is so screwed up. Possessing his brother-in-law to kill him.
How could Rex have done it? Rose's killer had blue eyes.
I didn't use the same killer for every murder.
Baxter.
I have to admit that's pretty smart on her part.
Why did you kill Baxter?
I eventually kill all the killers I use. Especially the ones who get close to the truth.
I wasn't close to the truth in the apartment. I wasn't one of your killers. Why did I have to die? I wouldn't. No, I wouldn't. How could I? You made me kill her. If I'm going out, you're coming with me. We all got a dark side, sometimes obvious, sometimes not. If we're lucky, we keep our dark side hidden. By law, Rex was a killer. But the law doesn't always see the truth. Fortunately, Joy did. And she would never press charges. She might even help Rex cover his tracks. One thing's for certain. She's a better person than I was at that age. A kid who deserves forgiveness. She's paid her dues. And committing a few small crimes, searching for your mom, well, even the coldest cops would forgive those. Hasn't been a Bell killer murder since the night Abigail met her final end. But the case never officially closed. But memories fade, time heals. With luck, Salem will move on and find peace. Death repays debts, my father always said. Forever I believe that. But truth be told, this life ain't over until you're honest about what you owe. Set everything right. Settle your debts. Only then can you move on.
Ronan?
So that's it. That's the ending. We figured out who killed us and why, and that was the final thing that Ronan had to do before he was able to cross over to the other side. So hopefully that means that he gets to be with Julia and he can rest in peace. Hopefully Baxter reuniting Joy and Cassandra gives him some peace and he can cross over. It took a long while for us to get to the end of our investigation, and the end of the game kind of comes relatively quickly. It's not a very long game, so I feel like the pacing is a bit odd sometimes. You feel like you don't really know what's going on, and then you figure it out really, really quick, and then boom, it's over. And that's it. It comes quite quickly. But I think they did a good job with making everything make sense. It's a really fun game. It's really rewarding and kind of fun to play detective and to piece everything together. And slowly, as time goes on, if you're paying attention, you can piece it together way quickly than the game pieces it together for you, which is always kind of a fun thing. I really enjoy this genre of game. I enjoy trying to figure things out and kind of play detective, if you will. I felt really badly for Ronan when he realized he was used in one of the Bell killer murders, and especially considering that we spent so much time in the graveyard helping Sophia, the young girl that was killed when Abigail was in possession of Ronan's body. That's a really horrible way to go. It's a really horrible thing to do, and it's really unfortunate that doing that and not being aware of it was actually what made him a target for Abigail, and that was the reason that he was killed. So this credit sequence is pretty long. It goes on for quite a while, and there's no like music or anything. This game was really lacking in soundtrack. I know when I was editing it several times, I kept thinking my recording software had messed up because I didn't hear a lot of music, but it's just because this game doesn't have a lot of sound. It's kind of the same sound all the way throughout. But generally my rule is I like to let credits run. I always think it's a good idea to have that running instead of skipping it. It's kind of the least that I can do for being able to play these games and have fun playing them and to share them with everybody. So if you haven't played this game, you can find it for pretty much every console, like I think except for like the Switch, because it's a much older game, way before the Switch came out. I do believe this came out in 2014, somewhere around there. But this playthrough should only be about 20 parts, so it is a relatively short game. If you're skipping cutscenes, it's even shorter. So this is not a very time-intensive game, so it's great for people who don't have like a ton of time to play games. It's something that even with limited time, you could probably sit down in a couple of settings and finish. It's an easy one to not pick up for a while and come back to. It's very unlikely that you'll kind of forget where you were. you'll pick it up pretty fast. The game is really easy. I mean, let's face it, the demons can kind of be a pain sometimes, but for the most part, you can probably get through this game with no death or very little and not have any issues with that whatsoever. Collectibles are, you know, easy to see. They glow bright, and you probably only need a guide to find really few hidden well-hidden ones, but for the most part, most of them are all kind of out in the open. The only achievements and trophies in this game are relating to side quests, collectibles, and main quest, so it's pretty easy in that regards to finish as well. And I kind of like that they put the ghost side quests kind of right in your main path, so they're very hard to miss, and collectibles are all kind of in your face and hard to miss. And the game has a few setbacks, a few kind of minor complaints, but for the most part I really enjoy this game and I've played it multiple times. A lack of a soundtrack, like I said, is a bit of a pain. Also, the fact that the game runs off of autosaves is never a system that I enjoy. I much prefer manual saving or having the option to manually save. Especially when I'm recording something, because if I screw it up, it's unfortunate and it's pretty difficult to go back and try to fix something. In games in the past, I've had to do post commentary because I've screwed up and haven't been able to go back and fix it. Luckily, I did not have that issue with this game. I was able to play this all the way through in a couple of different recording sessions, and the only mistakes I really made were just a few collectibles I missed, which I went back and got, obviously. But this game would have been really improved if it had a chapter select feature, I think. I think being able to select the game and to continue on from a certain level would have been really nice. Because unfortunately, the only part of the game that's missable is the museum, but if you go into the game not realizing that, then you have the potential to have to restart the entire game, especially because most of the collectibles will take you all the way to the end of the game. There's very few of them that you would be able to get before you start Judgment House, but even if that's the case, you would still also be forfeiting the collect all achievement. You would still have to go back and get everything regardless of if you wanted to or not. So I think at this point I'll just kind of say goodbye. I think I've said what I wanted to say just about my thoughts of the game and some of the critiques I had and things like that. I hope you guys enjoyed this project. It was really easy for me to record and to put together, which is sometimes a lot better and more enjoyable for me than something that requires a lot of testing and practice and things like that. It's a game I knew well going into it, which is always really nice. And I have this entire project recorded before I even have a single episode up. So while this is uploading, I hope that I can work on another project to bring to you guys. I've had a lot of fun recording this and getting back into it. Again, hopefully I played the game to a standard where you guys felt it was fun and it was also helpful and whatnot. So thanks for watching, everybody. If you have comments or questions, if you have critiques, if there's anything else that you would like to mention, definitely feel free to say it in the comment section below. If you load the game back up, if you press the continue option, it loads you into the museum with Joy and Rex. So there is no point in a continue option from the game that you have, because you're really just going to repeat the game's ending and that's it. You're not allowed to go back into Salem, so your best choice if you want to replay the game again or do a second run and get anything you missed would be just to immediately watch the credits and then start a new game. That's it for me, guys. I'm actually, for real, going to stop talking now. I will let the rest of this run. Thanks again, and I will be looking out for your comments and your criticisms. I really enjoyed playing this, recording it, and uploading it for you guys. And as always, I appreciate any and all support that I get. Thank you so much, everybody, and until the next project, enjoy, and I will see you next time.